We decided to go with FrontRowX. It was kind of, I guess, a surprise. We had a mobile app that we utilized here in our athletic department. And just kind of after getting feedback over the last 2-3 years, we were kind of surprised at how many people were actually using the mobile app. But the feedback we were getting was negative. There was components that wasn't available on our previous app. It was cumbersome. People had a hard time finding everything that they wanted to on it. And so whenever we had started talking about FrontRowX, we started looking to make sure that those features were included in a new mobile app if we were to go that way, and they were. And so it kind of made sense that everything our old mobile app was missing, FrontRowX kind of answered those questions for us and for our users on the other end. So it was kind of an answer in the best of both worlds that, we're moving into a digital space and it just makes sense to kind of go that way. And as people were having a hard time finding, content or schedules or stats, FrontRowX checked off every single one of those questions or problems that we were having with our old mobile app. And so it made it a good first place to kind of start to get moving in that direction. I think the biggest thing that we're looking forward to with MobileX or FrontRowX going into this year is that everything is kind of digital and virtual now, and it's not limited to a specific age range where if you had kids or if your grandparents, you looked at them and they may have not known how to operate their smartphone or get on their computer and attend a virtual meeting. We've kind of over the last 5 or 6 months during this last little bit kind of learned that everybody can be virtual at kind of the touch of a finger. And that's really what we kind of liked about having a mobile app, and specifically FrontRowX, to be able to make it kind of a one-stop shop where everybody could find all the information they need, whether it be video, schedule, stats, and it all be in a one-stop shop for them. And it doesn't matter if you accidentally found Evangel by searching us in an app store, or if you're an alumni, if you're a current student, if you're a prospective student, you go to one spot and there's so much information that we want to put in there, that we're still putting in there today, that you don't want to leave. And it just kind of creates that staying power inside an app, and it's right there in your hands. So whether it's being used as a second screen watching professional sports, or whether it's being used as a second screen in the stands here at Evangel this fall, watching volleyball or soccer or football, you don't need to leave it for any reason whatsoever. All the Evangel information is right there in your hand. Yeah, we are kind of like any school where how can you add revenue to the department? And so whenever we looked at the digital space that's out there, it seems kind of unlimited. But whenever you're kind of working around the framework of a volleyball game, a football game, a 90-minute soccer match, you are kind of limited in the digital space. And so we kind of looked at the mobile app as an extension of the game itself. And how can we monetize that, whether it be score updates and in the framework of a 90-minute soccer match, or whether it be outside the flow of your normal games, and like a coach's show on a Tuesday night, and you just anything to help lead in and build up excitement, driving fans to local pizza place, whatever it may be that is helping drive revenue into our department. I think the biggest thing that I got kind of excited about was, we were kind of given a marketing guide with the FrontRowX, and able to kind of look and just kind of piece together every little spot and see how there's so much that is kind of sellable and that can be monetized in that. And then the fun thing that whenever I got to Evangel, I'd already been at 5 other universities during my professional tenure. And so what I've always done is I've taken the best of both worlds of what I've learned here, what I've learned at previous schools, and what necessarily didn't work, and kind of discard that. And the same kind of with the mobile app and looking at other schools' FrontRowX app is I can take what I think might work for us, or what I really like that they do, and understand that, hey, that would apply to us, or no, we're in a little bit smaller market. We don't have as big of a fan base, and so that may not necessarily apply to us. But you can find so many different things that it kind of seems like the internet, that the internet's endless. And so the monetization of it, the sponsorship sales that we're currently driving toward it, is just kind of the sky's the limit. It's kind of how we look at it right now. So whenever we looked at FrontRowX, and one of the first things we kind of thought about over the course of the summer, looking at what a lot of schools are dealing with, currently right now in 2020, of, hey, we may play sports, but we may not have fans. And we do kind of have a little bit of an older fan base where they like that old school printed program in their hand. And we looked around and kind of seen some other schools that had made their programs digital. And so to be able to get those in their hands, and it doesn't matter if you're at the game or if you're watching a web stream through the app, there's your program. So being able to use that, we kind of thought that was kind of a smart way. And then to be able to, whenever you look at your game program, whether it's a feature story about a student athlete alumni, whether it's a current student athlete feature story, or just a Q&A with your athletic director, you put all those in a game day program, and you're really limited to who shows up to the game and either purchases, or if you're giving them away for free, takes one of your free game day programs. But in this scenario, kind of the sky's the limit in who's able to access that and who's able to see that information. And, kind of in small schools, it just takes one person to look at it, and you never know if that person's going to be, the next All-American at your school. They're going to be the next person to donate $1 million to your school. You just never know what is going to happen and come of each circumstance. And so that's where we're starting the second screen at. We've kind of touched on a couple other ideas that we're really excited with, the push notifications and what that can offer. We've seen some schools do the trivia, and I know that, they're rolling out new ideas with that. And so we're kind of excited about that. But that's kind of where we've started in our base level. And we feel like really the only way we can go engaging fans, students, alumni, prospective students is up. The most exciting, features that I'm excited to use myself and to see other people kind of engage with. One is the push notifications. We, sell sponsorships for, it's called a Big Mac sack during football games. And so whenever, you can let people know, hey, we got that second sack of the game, go get your Big Mac at McDonald's. I'm kind of really excited to see how that works. And, maybe you look, and everybody, instead of looking up at the game, everybody looks down at once at their phone, dinging in their pocket. So I'm pretty excited about that. Audio and streaming, we're always looking for simpler ways to get that into our fans' hands. And so just to let them know of when our streaming is and how you can watch it. We have a lot of people that, hey, this is great, that we can plug it into our TV, or we can watch it on a Apple TV or a Roku or anything. But I lose the game when I'm driving down the road. So to be able to have an audio option in there so people can listen, and, I think everybody listens to their phone, whether it, be just music or talk radio or sports. And so just to add another channel to your radio station whenever you're working around the house or driving down the road is something big. And then I know that being worked on with the FrontRowX, but the trivia portion, we're really excited about that. We've got some sponsors that are kind of curious about it and are, they want to see everything in action first. And I don't blame them for that, but the trivia really seems endless, and it helps fill time, especially, during a summer break, during a pandemic, whatever the case may be. So those are probably the most top 3 things that I'm excited about. This is something that, we're still kind of talking about and kind of exploring the different options. But one thing I mentioned earlier was kind of the coaches show. And we get a lot of great feedback on our videos that we push out on social media. So being able to push out photography videos, coaches shows, maybe it's a mic'd up video that we do at practice one day. We mentioned earlier, kind of, you never know who's going to be in that video, where they're going to come from, or where they're going to go whenever they're done at Evangel. And so interacting with those students is my favorite part of the job, and being able to kind of share that with what I get to see. I take for granted every day, I know I do, working in an athletic department and engaging with our student athletes. And I want to be able to share that with our alumni, prospective students and recruits, their parents, friends, grandparents, extended family, because so often, kids go home and they talk to their family about their experiences and what has happened. And I may see it, their coach may see it, but there's a lot of people that miss out on everything that happens, whether it be at a practice or whether it be at a game that, for whatever reason, nobody can attend. And so we want to be that kind of connection point. And I really think that the front row experience can allow people that can't be at every single game. Maybe it's someone that's from California and can't make it to every game in Missouri, obviously. So just being able to bring that right to them in their hand is really exciting for our department.